What's up? My name is Big Leaf. Um, Born and raised in Brooklyn. I represent M.O.P.T.O.P first and foremost, dance fusion.
What's up? It's Buddha Stretch, born and raised, sired in Brooklyn, aka Brooklyn. I represent M.O.P.T.O.P, which is the foundation, and Elite Force, which is the crew.
What's up, Link? Elite Force crew, M.O.P.T.O.P family, Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. Peace.
Primarily house and hip hop.
Yeah, house, hip hop, popping, locking, whatever the music is at that particular instant, I could jump into it. So if I feel good, I can get down to basically whatever style is current at the time.
Me, I just like to dance. Period.
Me personally, I don't have a favorite style. I react to the music.
Me, my favorite style is dance. I don't have a personal favorite style. Favorite is just be dance. Whatever music play, I do with it. That type of music, what it calls for.
My favorite style is locking. I grew up watching Soul Train. I didn't get into locking until really late, and it took me up until basically the last year to realize why I love it so much, because again, I grew up watching Soul Train. I wanted to be a Soul Train dancer, and that was primarily what I saw, but as they said, really in the context of it, my favorite thing is music. So if you play different kinds of music, I'm gonna dance different ways. Dance is my favorite. Not the style, just the dance. Well, first and foremost, foundation is dance. Okay? Before you can do any particular step, you have to be able to dance. The dance itself is the foundation. You have to be able to move to the music, for the music, and because of the music first. Everything is built on top of that. That's why it's called foundation. People have this misconception that foundation is a particular step. When we say it's foundation, it's because we built off of that. But there are multiple layers to that step, multiple ways of doing it. It's the base. You start from the base, and the base of it all is the ability to dance. If you don't have that ability, then you're basically just running through, it's basically aerobics.
And it basically encompasses your whole question when you talk about technique, because when you learn it, you gain the technique, the feel, and you understand the movement. But again, it's about reacting to the music. So that's how you know when to place it, when you should do it. And I think sometimes that's where people kind of get everything all mixed up.
Yeah, not to be critical, but in this day and time, it seems that people are over analytical. They're overthinking, something that you're not supposed to think at all about. It's an action. You're supposed to do it. Then you think about it. You put it to work first, and then you think about how it can work for you and how to make it work better. But you have to do it first. It's an action. It's just like playing catch. You can't play catch unless you throw the damn ball. Well, basically, the dance is a continuation of what came before. We all learned to dance from our parents. Our parents instill the concept of movement and music within us, because we watched them, and even before we could watch them, we felt them. So that is the background as far as cultural. It comes from your parentage and your what takes place in your household, your family background. If your parents played music, then their parents played music because that's where they learned, and so on and so forth. The cultural context of it is it comes from, at least for us, from that, family background, and then in terms of history, it's, as I said, we're building on what came before. So what came before us was breaking. What came before breaking was rocking. What came before rocking was salsa. What came before salsa was mambo. What came before mambo was, Lindy Hop and original jazz. Before that, gospel and the ring shout. So it's a continuation of that. It's in the context of now and the music of now, and we're just continuing that lineage and building off of what came before, even if we don't have a direct connection to what came before. Because a lot of the things that people, when we say this, they look back at things like, you saw this, and I didn't see any of that stuff until now. But I know that the energy of me is connected to that.
And the place of origin for like hip hop, the house dance that's very popular around the world is New York City. Or I should say the tri-state area in regards to the house and hip hop. We know that it started in the Bronx.
Yep, pretty much covered it.
All right, cool.
Dance journey. Wow. Us together, this is 26 years. And at the beginning of this, we had no vision whatsoever that we would be here now doing this. This was never,
Our plan.
It was never in the plans. It was never something that we looked to like, oh, we're going to be doing this, blah blah blah. It was we do it, and we just did it, and it's taken us to this from there to now, and
And all around the world.
Yeah, it's taken us around. It's educated us. It's made us who we are. And again, it was never a thought out plan of action. It was just like, yo, let's go out, let's do this. Yo, they want us to do that. Yo, let's go here. And it's always been that we move where the wind is taking us, and the wind is taking us across the universe.
Yeah, I see it as a labor of love, something that we really love to do, and our passion became, a way for us to make a living, and like there was a lot of commercial work in the beginning, but then we got to a point where we became our own bosses, where we could work for ourselves. So I think that in the end, like he said, it's always been a work in progress, but we didn't actually know what we were building until like 20 years later. And now we can look back on it and say, damn, wow, we did all of that. And that affected all these people, and now all these people want to be a part of the movement that we helped create. Yeah, like you said, we didn't plan that.
We had no vision whatsoever.
We just kept on growing. For me, dance has always been, especially like clubbing and dance, I mixed the two together because that was like a place where I could really go and express myself freely. It's always been like an escape. You can always kind of like escape from your problems, your situation. Your situations won't necessarily change. But like, for example, if I ever had an argument with my girlfriend, but if I went to the club and I jammed out for 8 hours, when I came back, I was able to solve the problem because I was able to calm down. So it was, for me, a place for me to escape, and I felt free and I felt at home. And dance has always been that for me. Like,
not even here right now.
Okay. Well, for me personally, dance is a spiritual thing. It's how I commune with my ancestors. It's how I commune with, my family members who are no longer on this plane of existence. It's how I express myself. It's how I live, how I've lived, how I will live. People say, well, this doesn't define me. This has defined me. It has made me who I am. I cannot imagine, as I look back after 33 years, what else would I have been doing? Like, my original plans had nothing to do with dance. My vision for what I was going to do with my life is so far away from dance, has nothing to do with it. So, dance has enabled me to understand life and to understand who I am and my place in the scheme of things. And it's always been on that level for me, once I came into an understanding of self. And it's, the music and the dance that helped me to find that understanding.
My definition is you're just free to do what you want, but still to do a style. Still to do something that has some type of form. Not free to just roll around on the floor and call it dancing.
Experimental.
So that's it, It just, just freedom without, so many rules to how you should do it, how you're supposed to do it. That's my definition of it.
Freestyle.
Yeah, no freestyle. Just being free to live your life, do it where you want, but and still having so someone can understand what you're doing. There's someone looking at it and say, "What the hell are you doing?"
So it's like being free, but there are some boundaries.
I mean, literally, freestyle means do whatever you want. But in the context of what we're doing, it's not freestyle. Freestyle doesn't mean it's free of style. As he said, there's a form and function to it. There's a technique to it. What you're doing is you're taking technique, vocabulary, creativity, and you're just going. You're trying to create on the spot, but you're creating on something that's pre-existent, and you're building and adding to it. That's where people don't understand the term foundation. You take one step and you try to multiply that step. If I have one step and then I make another step, now I have two steps from the one step. And if I change those two steps, now I have three. Now if I can make 10 steps from one step, and then I have 10 steps and I make 10 more steps from each 10 of those, now I have 100 steps. That's what freestyle is. It's building. That's why we call it foundation. It's not free of style, meaning do whatever you want. If I want to just, roll on the floor or convulse, that has no connection to the music. Everything
That's
that we do, everything that we do is connected through the music. And the music is helping you to build and tell your story, and express yourself. But in order to build, it's like trying to build a house, with no bricks, no mortar, no nails, no wood. What are you building without tools? So as he said, it's not formless. It has a form. The form and the technique and the vocabulary, those are the tools that you use to build with. So in terms of freestyle, it's not free of style. Now as far as choreography just means getting some people together and having them move in unison to music. That's it. It's not a style. It's never been a style. It never will be a style, because it just means to get people together and move in unison to music. That doesn't mean, it's a style unto itself. For it to be a style, A, it has to have a technique. B, it has to have a vocabulary. C, it has to have some kind of character, something that defines it, form and function. And it's just choreography. I'll quote Will Smith when we were doing Men in Black. He said you can get any 10 people off the street, put them in the same costume, and give them 2 moves to do, simple movements, and you got good choreography. That doesn't mean any of those people can dance. Well, I always teach this in my class. When people deem commercial dancers versus street dancers versus underground dancers. So let's just get that out of the way first. Okay, commercial. Commercial means commerce. Commerce means business, you're getting paid for it. So if you're a commercial dancer, it just means you're getting paid. It doesn't mean that it's separate from something else. So commercial dancer, if you're dancing on the street and you put the hat down and you're collecting money, guess what? You're a commercial dancer. If you swing on a pole and your ass clap on the pole and you got all of these skills and twirl, guess what? And they throwing dollars at you, you're a commercial dancer. If you do a music video and you get paid, if you do a commercial, for a particular brand or an industrial, you're a commercial dancer. That just means getting paid. It's not a separate thing. Oh, I work in the industry, I'm not in the underground. There was a thing when we first started that we were the commercial dancers because we were doing music videos and tours and all of that. But the difference being, after the music video, after the tour, we went straight to the club. And we did what we did in the video and on the tour was the same thing that we did in the club. There was no separation, and there still is no separation. So we weren't underground dancers, we weren't commercial dancers, we were dancers. And that seems, this whole dichotomy that people have now, it's all in your head.
For me, there's a lot of young dancers that inspire me. One dancer that I can think of right off the top of my head is Junior Boogie from Montreal. Sometimes when he comes down to New York, he'll stop by my house and we'll get together, sit down, eat, cypher. And when we dance with each other, I get inspired by just seeing the way his brain works when he's dancing and the way he's coming up with stuff and how he's trying to mix and combine things. So I get inspired from that, and then I in turn inspire him. He tells me I inspire him. But the fact that I'm older than him, but I still have a lot of energy, and that inspires him. I think my message for the next generation in regards to how they can get better is I find that some people sometimes when they dance, they hit a wall. I was talking to somebody earlier today and they said they felt like they were doing the same step over and over and over again. But the way that I got better at dance is because I did the same step over and over and over again. And eventually I learned how to do it a different way, And sometimes it happens by mistake, and sometimes it happens on purpose. Sometimes you might slip, and then you come up with something new, and that slip, that fall, that mistake becomes a whole new way to move. Also, another thing that was good for me was trying to do this one style to a lot of different genres of music. So when people lock, most of the time they'll dance to funk or disco, mainly funk, right? But me, when I dance house, I'll dance house to hip hop, I'll dance house to reggae, I'll dance house to whatever the hell is playing. And it changed my timing, and then it helped me kind of create a whole nother way to do something that I was doing before. So my message to the youth is to never give up, to always, try hard, believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, then no one else is going to believe in you.
As far as new dancers, of course he already shouted out Jojo Boogie. I'm gonna shout out a crew from Holland called the Alchemist. You have Paradox, you have Dimension, you have Shadow, you have Kenzo Alvarez, Shay. These are all young brothers that are putting it down, hard. You have like Ben, Majid in Germany, Natalia.
Yes.
These are heads that are bringing it there. You have over in Japan, with Kento, Kandu, Yuge, Miho, LOFD. These are crews that have been putting it down for a while and still represent. And there are a lot of young dancers, and they inspire. I'm inspired by music and how people move to it, and it's why I always pay attention. In New York City, my biggest inspiration is the Light Feet Nation, because they took what we did and ran with it and completely flipped it on its head, and that's the beautiful thing, and not only did they create their own style of dance based on what came before, but then they took the music and flipped it also, which is such a beautiful thing, and it's such an inspiration for me. It shows me that, the creativity is still there. That energy that we latched onto, somebody else has latched onto it right behind us, and they're like whipping it out, As far as, advice, my advice to the dancers is educate yourself about music. Learn how music is made. Learn how musicians think, how they create, because that has everything to do with how you create, because you're creating on top of their creation. They're giving you music to move to, and you have to visualize it. You have to put it in the context to make people understand what they're hearing. You're putting it in the context of, you're becoming a visual representation of the music. So the more that you understand music, the better your dance will become. And as far as the message, love is the message. Love what you do, love who you are, love who you see in the mirror, because we love this. That's the reason we're still here. It has, everything to do with that. Our expression of the dance is because we love it, and we love each other when we do it and when we're not doing it. That is our connection. That is all of our connection. The love of music and as an art, dance as an art form. So love is the message.
If I may, King Charles,
Hell yeah.
Toya, Samo, I can't forget the Mahaza. Shout out to Little Jazz Noodles. Sorry, y'all.
Well, the dances I would talk about is almost every dancer. Even every dancer that tries, their biggest inspiration, every dancer that tries. Because those dancers are fighting their fear. So, just to try and dance in front of people, that's hard. That's like the same as MCs, singers going to a music studio room. You can sing in person and sing out loud, but you go in the booth, it's a different feeling. So, when you jump on stage, you gotta dance in front of a lot of people, it's a different feeling. So, those dancers that inspire me, those that take risks, take chances, and even, just brave enough to show their dance to the world, because that helps keep dance alive itself. And it inspires other dancers. And the dancers I would love to also give names to. They name everybody I would name. But I also like to name Firelock, Hurricane, Eric, Rice Ball.
My son.
It's so many names, there's so many dances. Even there's a lot of girl dancers, the whole Mawu,
Yes.
all of them.
Yes.
It's many girls. Sonia from France, is Foxy, is Antoinette. We name a lot of guys, but there are many girls that's repping hard.
Mine is right there. Her
And
name is Yuko Snow Bunny.
Yuko Snow Bunny, she's repping hard. And her partner Katie, repping hard. Then you got much Japanese girls. Then you got much Chinese girls. A lot of people don't talk about the girls, but there's many girls that are repping.
Yes.
He mentioned the crew, LOFD.
So
then you
all
gotta
real crew.
then you gotta mention Yoshi at. You gotta mention
Forget about it.
so many.
Yeah.
You know, but they don't get as much props as they should. You know.
And they're better than we are.
And-
Let's just state that. We
just-
learn from
let's
women
just
in
get
our
it clear.
lives.
And this is for every
Nikki,
male
Martha.
dancer. This is for every male dancer. We learn from women.
Yep.
We can dance macho, but it's harder to dance soft with a girl.
Exactly.
And that's when you learn how you really need to dance. So that's my thing I want to tell dancers. My advice to them is keep dancing. No one can tell you how to get better. No one can tell you what to do to improve. If you want to improve on something, you have to keep doing it until you understand it. So everybody can tell you do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. Do it, but you got to keep dancing and do it. You have to do that. It's the same as you go to a job. They teach you how to work this part of the job. But to get better in that job, you have to figure out ways to do it faster. The only way you're going to figure out how to do it faster is to keep doing it over and over and over and over. You got to do it till you get sick of it. So once you get sick of it, you start to love it. So that's my advice.
And it's an action. You have to do it. You can't think about it. You have to be about it.
This is no overnight process. You are not going to wake up tomorrow and be like dance extraordinaire. You're going to wake up tomorrow and be the same dancer you was when you went to sleep.
And 1 million or 2 million YouTube views does not make you,
No.
the greatest thing smoking.
It just means that 2 million people watch the video.
All right, so that's my tip. Peace.
Peace. Big League Dance Fusion. M.O.P.T.O.P.